Here we go. Game 1 on Lightshade LE, spawning in the top left corner of the map. Playing for the team Shopify Rebellion as the blue Terran player, it is BYUN.
Oh, sorry, once again, wrong person.
Oh.
Sorry, I keep messing that up. But anyhow, here spawning at the bottom right, we have the red Protoss player playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Some say he is best. Give it up for Zest.
Zest is best. Woo! I love that. So fun to say.
Yeah, it's a nice little word on play there. That's not a bad, because some players have some ID names that just kind of cater towards some nice phrases. And I think Zest is best is one of the best ones out there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, definitely.
I can't really
For
think
example,
of
parting. Like, what would you really say with parting, right? I'm not actually sure. Now, we do actually see, wow, 5 whole probes being pulled, and a second engineering bay going down from BYUN. Just trying to really guarantee that no Nexus is going to come down anytime soon. That SCV just barely getting out with 5 HP. See, okay, we've had this talk on previous streams, Snoopy, my good friend. Imagine if SCVs only had 40 health, just like the rest of us. Come on, right? Oh man, it would be a completely different world.
I know.
The entire landscape of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void would be very, very different.
Yeah.
Of course, I am joking. Now, we do see both players going for their naturals, so aside from that double engineering bay block, looks like things have stabilized more or less.
Yeah, it looks like both players are. I mean, it wasn't too much of a disruption, just a little bit of a disruption, not too much, not game changing or anything. And yeah, both of these players are gonna go ahead and just proceed as usual.
Yeah, for a second there, it looked like BYUN. Oh, there we go. We do see the 3 ranks opening from our blue Terran.
Ah.
See how Zest responds. The first adept is making a way across the map, is about halfway there.
Ooh, I'm a little bit afraid here for BYUN as he doesn't quite have a bunker up and running. Let's see if he can kind of micro these 3 Marines, but Zest can definitely kind of kite the Marines with the adept, kind of like attack, then kind of fall back to regenerate the shield, and then kind of go once again for the attack. But it looks like BYUN is going to go ahead and be a little bit careful. We'll finally throw down that bunker. Although, again, BYUN is not looking to play defensive by any means. I mean, he's got the 3 racks for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. Now, the first hint that Zest has that something is going to be coming is, of course, that barracks with the reactor on it. Nothing like a Hellion, but that is all that Zest knows at this point. He has no vision of the double barracks just behind the wall. Both of them with Tech Labs starting up stim and combat shield. So this does have significant potential.
Yeah, for sure. I love how BYUN is hiding his Marines, making sure that he doesn't kind of reveal his hand ahead of time. And, kind of prompt Zest to start throwing down like shield batteries and stuff like that. He wants to make this known at the very last second.
Yeah, and it looks like Zest doesn't really have a clue because he put down a 3rd Nexus right at the 4-minute mark. So, like, what has Zest seen so far? Zest has seen a bunker, Zest has seen 4 Marines, but that is it. And now it looks like a couple of Marauders along with a bunch of Marines are going to walk across the map and complete that combat shield stim timing. So, we're going to have to see if Zest is able to defend this.
Yeah, I don't quite think this is going to be favorable for our Red Protoss. Not only does he have no shield battery, he's also thrown down his 3rd Nexus, and he is going to be completely caught with his pants down.
Yeah, definitely. Now, those 2 sentries, maybe if they do get a nice force field, but a shaded Phoenix does get sent out right as the Marines come on top. Guardian Shield immediately pops, but these Marines Marauders, just look at that stim DPS, right? Immediately, half of the Protoss army gets shaved down. We do see another warp in, but it is a little bit too late as we do see a bunch of probes being pulled. 12 probes going down already, and now the Marines are finally going to get cleaned up, but not after taking what is basically a full Mineral 9 down with them. Now Zest has no real option except to go for the immediate counterattack with nothing but 6 Stalkers.
Yeah, and 6 Stalkers against Stim Bio. Not the greatest position here for our red Protoss. Not only did he lost all those pros, but he also lost all those sentries for the Guardian Shield, for those force fields. But let's see if Zest can kind of pull some rabbit out of the hat, kind of start remaking some of the lost probes that he had on the other side.
Yeah, now he does have to be very careful. Blinks out of there just in time, but I did like that positioning earlier where, you know, even if you don't get a few SCVs, just holding them in place behind the mineral line in that sort of awkward position does mean that the SCVs will not be able to mine from certain patches. Now we do see the Blink Stalkers also getting a decent amount of value, actually shaving off maybe about a third to a half of the remaining bioforce. So that is definitely good for Zest. That is what you want to see, as we do see another Marine counterattack. This time only getting a couple of probes being tickled away by the sentries, so it looks like not too much damage there. But yeah, these Stalkers, this is exactly what you want to do with them in this situation as the Protoss, right? You want to use the superior micro potential to your advantage, shaving off whatever you can, especially, you know, Marauders and the like. Whatever you can shave off of the biomass is going to be less that you have to deal with in the future. So very, very important.
Yeah, and what's also important is the upgrade right here. We do see BYUN does have a nice little 1-0 upgrade lead. Only now is Zest, after trying to defend that attack earlier on, is now just starting his +1 attack and also just started his charge upgrade. Now the charge upgrade isn't quite as significant. He still has a good amount of stalkers and some sentries, so he can kind of force field the ramp area and then just kind of blink micro his stalkers there.
Yeah, and now we see the bio. Oh, okay. Just stimming up for a second and then stimming back out. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, if the bio went all the way forward into that shield battery, there was a potential to just collapse onto the stalkers, which had at that point used up their blink. But it looks like they're just gonna hang around in the middle of the map, snipe that observer. Oh, actually, the observer, did it survive? Maybe that's another observer. I'm not
yeah, that was another observer. He did snipe down one of them, and then he just kind of move back, move that second one in place.
Yeah, but like you said, the upgrade advantage. Now we see concussive shells completed, and this Marauder heavy army is gonna deal. It's gonna pack quite a punch against all these stalkers. So I'm not actually sure. We do see some decent force fields. Good pickup micro by BYUN, picking up those bio units that were in the front, saving a couple of them. So. Another observer does get picked off. I don't know how these players do that, you know? If I'm in game, I'm definitely not looking at an observer. I'm looking to build up my bio army.
Yeah, I mean, these guys got sniper eyes, for God's sakes.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I'm sure it's like part of the graphic settings that they put on that makes it easier to kind of zoom in and out and kind of see the little observer kind of wavy line there. But anyhow, BYUN is going to go ahead and start trying to march in here at the dirt, but this dirt is actually quite fortified. I'm not quite sure this is the best place for BYUN to attack. I would love it to see him kind of circumvent and go to the natural instead. That one, the natural doesn't have quite as many cannons and shield batteries as the dirt.
I really like this 6 Zealot charge lot attack. It's, you know, just sort of forcing out a bit of extra APM from BYUN, making sure, you know, keeping him honest at home. And actually, speaking of keeping him honest, that was not so good, taking down 6 SCVs. Now we're back to the main engagement. We do see some excellent force fields with the Immortals shelling away at those Marauders stuck in the front, as only 1 Widow Mine of the 4 in the back were detonated. So not the most ideal Widow Mine placement, as the rest of them do get picked off. Or, oh, I love that. Triggering the Widow Mines with the Blink Stalkers and then blinking away at the last minute. So I do like this constant sort of Zealot run-by move that Zest is pulling out, as we do see the Terran Pain Train moving forward. Yeah, I don't know about this. That is a pretty scary bioforce, but that is a lot of Immortals, so I don't know. It's a Warpin is forced full of Zealots just to force back this bio, as, you know, both players are whittling down each other's armies at this point in time.
Yeah, the Charge Light Force does go ahead and commence into the dirt of BYUN, getting a lot of SCVs. BYUN kiting for his life here out in the middle of the map, but does he have enough? Zest doesn't quite have enough Charge Light to buffer, but he doesn't really need to chase it. He just can kind of fall back. He's gotten 15 SCV kills. That is a way more enough, and I'm sure he is satisfied with his position now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zest start throwing down that 4th base. He's got a nice little lead here in terms of the kind of the efficiency of his engagement in the past minute or so. I don't think a BYUN can kind of outright kill Zest, especially with all those High Templars. And they do have Storm, by the way. Storm upgrade has finished. So just get so I would love to see Zest just throw down that 4th base, continue macroing up while he builds up his High Templar force.
Yeah, definitely. Those High Templar, they definitely pack a punch with Storm. Now, a little bit of an awkward situation. We do see a bunch of Zest probes just sort of hanging around. I don't know what exactly the goal is there, but these High Templar, they are moving forward. They are looking for some damage. I don't know about that. Oh, okay. First Storm does go off. Second Storm does go off as well. Immediately, those are turned into Archons just to preserve them. A little bit of an awkward sort of move forward as the Stalkers and the Immortals do sort of shuffle that Archon forward. But that bio is not getting much done, and yeah, I don't know. BYUN had every advantage in the game. He had an upgrade advantage, he had an economic advantage, and all of a sudden Zest pulling himself back into the game with those Zealot run-bys, killing that full mineral line earlier, now getting all the way up to High Templar with Storm, right? Like, these are the tools that Protoss needs to not only defend, but to just, you know, possibly outright win the game. Now, we do see another engagement, some not the best force fields, but we do see a second Terran bioforce coming up to the north side, and it is covered by a couple of High Templar, but will it be enough? That is the question.
Oh man, with all those cannons, the shield batteries, and those High Templars with the storms, that is not going to be breakable for BYUN. And right now, I mean, BYUN, he has a really wide angle avenue to the main base. I would love to see him just fly over there. Really, there is nothing to spot. There's no observer. There's only one observer into the very far left side, but there's really not anything in between then. And so if he can kind of fly into the main base, oh, actually as I look over, there is 2 High Templars. So Zest doing a really great job just fortifying his bases, making sure that drop harass does not kill him.
Yeah, definitely. Now, this is pretty interesting. We do see how the Protoss has been able to fend off everything, and it kind of feels like a bit of a Turtley style, right? You know, you've got a lot of cannons, excuse me, you've got a lot of defensive High Templar, and only now do we see that 4th from the Protoss up and running, whereas BYUN already had that 4th available. Now, we do see some great EMPs coming down on the main force. High Templar are denied their storms. Shield battery overcharge is popped, and now all that's left to defend are Immortals and Stalkers. And speaking of which, the Stalkers are running very, very low. Now, we do see the first 2 Colossi coming back out, and of course, they do not rely on energy, so that Bioforce will be pushed back just for the time being. Now, another warp in of Stalkers to the north. High Templar shooing away that Bio for now, but wow, this game in an instant change, right? We see the Colossi coming out, which are not energy dependent. We also saw the Ghost coming out, and now we're seeing 2 engagements at the same time. We see these Colossi taking damage, as well as the Ghosts and the Widow Mines. Oh my god, Snoopy, this is a game.
Oh yeah, but I still feel like Zest is holding on pretty well thus far. I mean, BYUN trying to, you know, do multiple prong attacks, just not quite having enough on either side, as Zest does split those High Templars fairly well. And right now, Zest's army, you know, you will be a little bit, tricked by the army supply, because it's pretty even. But I would still say the army quality, the army ball of Zest is more superior, because you got like 3 splash damage units right there. You got the Archons, you got the Colossus, you got the High Templars. So that is a very tough, kind of army, a Protoss army, to fight one-on-one head-on. Yeah,
definitely. You do not want to engage that death ball head-on, right? What you want to be doing with Bio is essentially splitting up the Protoss's forces. You want to split the APM, you want to split the forces. Make sure that you're engaging on as many fronts as possible. And BYUN did try to do that, but he just happened to lose both, and all of a sudden that 30 supply lead, 170 to 140, I believe it was, you know, it just cut all the way down to 130 to 130. So definitely not an ideal engagement. Now we do see the excellent feedbacks from that first High Templar, making sure those ghosts have no energy left in the tank, and you know, Zest sort of giving BYUN a bit of his own medicine in that very, very cheeky moment. I do like that.
Yeah, that pervy observer providing nice vision here for our Protoss friend. BYUN, though, he is trying to kind of play that turtley style right now, as I don't think he feels confident enough facing the army. But oh my god, Zest walking up a ramp, giving BYUN a nice little concave here, and all the Colossus falls down to these Vikings.
No.
Is BYUN going to give chase here?
Oh my god, and this is what you want to see with Bio, right? You want to be able to kite back against all those Zealots, against the Stalkers as well, and it looks like he's just going to push forward, pick off the Archons as well. More EMPs going down. Stalkers are reinforcing, but, you know, Stalkers are not the best against Marauders, and all of a sudden, that supply lead is swinging back in favor of BYUN. What a crazy engagement. I don't think Zest ever really wanted to or needed to push up that ramp like that.
Absolutely. I think that was a huge misplay there by Zest. Going up a ramp like that, man, that is yeah, not the smartest decision there. But Zest trying to still hold on. However, he doesn't quite have a huge bank to warp in and to create a lot of army to defend. So he's going to try to rely on these storms to kind of zone out the Terran player while he kind of, you know, replenishes army and rebuild back up.
Now I do like this follow-up. We've sort of, you know, run the full length of Protoss Protoss splash by now, right? We started with the High Templar, we went into Colossi, and now we're down to the Disruptors. And now these Disruptors, you know, they have a lot of potential. One good hit and all of a sudden you could lose all your ghosts as Terrans. But BYUN already ready for this with the Liberators being set up, and obviously the Disruptors do not shoot up. Now these ghosts are lethal, and those EMPs have been really doing their work this game, and these Liberation Zones are not going to let up anytime soon.
Yeah, now Disruptor is the best play right now just because of how far behind he is. But look at this wide open space. This is the one trait of Lightshade. There is a wide open space area right here where it can allow BYUN to kind of dodge these Disruptor balls.
Oh! Speaking of dodging, that was not a good dodge at all, as we saw the majority of the ghosts dying in one single hit. But at what cost, you have to ask, right? Zest's army has not grown above 130 supply until just now. And these Liberators, you know, you do not want to fight under them. When they were sieged up, they were definitely dealing their damage. Now, another Disruption Nova does go out, but BYUN reacts just in time. Is he going to react in time for this?
No! Oh my god, BYUN! Are you just giving Zest a way to come back to in this game? I mean, yeah, this is not the greatest trade. Now BYUN can't afford to do an even trade though, because again, he is decently ahead. You can see that he's almost taken his half of his side of the map. Zest still has a couple of bases to take on the top side, but all BYUN really needs to do is just continue trading, but doesn't want to trade too inefficiently, or else Zest might have a trump card and ace in the hat with these Disruptors. Because again, Disruptors, they're a game changer. They're the wild card.
Yep, wild card is, I think, the best way to put it, right? Colossi, predictable. High Templar, a little bit less predictable, but, you know, if you know what you're doing, you can definitely avoid them or counter them with the ghosts with the right plays. But Disruptors, that is a form of splash in which both players really are participating at the same time. Speaking of participating, nope. Nova goes for an airball. Now Zest coming in here against the third orbital with another Warpin, with another Zealot run by. I do like that move, but it doesn't look like they're going to get too much done, as there is residual bio left at home. Just enough to clean it up. Now we do see a lot of big EMPs going down at the main engagement. Disruption Novas are not going to find too much damage, but yeah, those liberation zones are making it really painful for Zest to engage here because he is not close to anything significant to really anchor him. He's not close to shield batteries, at least in good numbers, but I don't know about this. BYUN needs to get out as his bio is thinned out to a critical point.
Alright, the rest of these Liberators, or at least a majority of them, okay, now the Liberators has been cleaned up, but there's still a lot of Marauders, and they are just moving forward and marching forward, sniping on those Disruptors, and right now, Zest is trying to fall back, holding on by the skin of his teeth, but more reinforcement here coming for BYUN, and this is it. There's just too much on the ground for BYUN. He will take the first game.
That's right, spawning here in the bottom left corner, playing as the blue Terran, on match point 1-0 right now. Playing for Shopify Rebellion, it is BYUN.
And playing here at the top right, at the 1 o'clock base, he's the red Protoss player playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Give it up for Zest.
I like this. I like this a lot. BYUN getting cheeky again with the double proxy racks. Saying, hey, if it doesn't work against parting, that's okay. I can try it on another Protoss and see how it goes.
Now, there is the one ramp area, or not the ramp area, the cliff area where the Reaper can jump in and out of. Now, I'm not sure why Protoss has not learned to wall this off. I feel like it's so easy to kind of wall this off and prevent the Reapers from jumping in and out, but at the very least, Zest is going to go ahead and potentially scout this. Oh, no, he does not.
No way.
Oh no, this
is actually crazy because not only did Zest just barely miss that, but he actually went for a Nexus before Cyber. Now, Parting did that in his series against BYUN as well, but that was because he was doing a proxy. Okay, I'm going to eat my words. Zest putting down a proxy as well. It looks like he's going for an aggressive proxy gateway as well, just as Parting did.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of the series with Parting, where Parting went for the the Parting 3-gate build while he was getting cheese right here at the natural, and we saw how that went. So let's see if that kind of turns out the same. So far, Zest finally does scout the proxy. But what can he do about it? Does he leave that Nexus up and running, or does he cancel it and recoup the minerals?
Okay, so the cancel was forced. I do like that move. It is, just a little bit safer. But right now, what do we have? We have one stalker on the high ground against 4 Marines, 2 SCVs, one of them already building a bunker, a 5th Marine coming up, and now the mineral line is vulnerable. I would have liked to see them pulled a little bit earlier, but already 3-4 probes going down. Yeah, this is pretty significant damage by this group of Marines already. Oh no, not like this. A dozen probes falling, and well, it looks like the bunker was denied, but at what cost, right? That was not good at all.
Absolutely. And right now, Zest is going to have to pull a Hail Mary if he wants to have any chance, because again, he's down 0-1. If he loses this, it's pretty much a series. So he's gonna have to make some magic happen with this counterattack of his.
Yeah, now it looks like Zest did put down. Oh, there we go. We have shield batteries. So a bit of a mix between Parting's 2 games, right? We see the proxy gateway, but we also see the proxy shield batteries. So it looks like Zest is gonna try to put out some aggression, but I don't know about this because it's just one adept against Marines and soon to be some Cyclones as well, a high ground bunker. I don't know. It really does not look tenable for the Protoss, and Zest agrees. BYUN takes the series 2-0.